But good technology should make you more effective and more efficient. It should help you foster relationships and draw people in.
This is Equip and Engage, a podcast by Subsplash, exploring how ministry, technology, and innovation come together to equip churches around the world to engage their communities.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of the podcast today. I'm Carolyn, joined by my fellow friend and co-host, Chris Sharp. We today on this episode are talking about the value of technology in the church today.
Yeah, and most importantly, what technology should you be leveraging just at a high level that's helping you become more effective in making disciples and engaging your community?
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we dig into that and just some of the practical takeaways that you can have after listening to this, I wanted to start with just addressing some of those tensions and challenges that churches and ministries can experience. As we're thinking through it, technology is ever changing. It's changing so fast. You can buy a phone and a day later realize the new version just rolled out that you missed.
That's a bad planning though if you do that one.
I did yeah, exactly. It can be so frustrating. But also, even as we think about, we're in a culture where it can just become oversaturated and overstimulated, to where I think about at night watching Netflix and I'm still scrolling on my phone through Twitter and Instagram and the CNN ticker, and I'm going to sleep with a twitch in my eye because it's just so much content and information. That how are churches experiencing this, and how have you even seen some of these tensions come up? Yeah,
absolutely. Definitely oversaturated. We think about where people are. They're engaged. They're on their mobile devices over 3 hours a day. They're on Netflix. They're on Hulu. They're on Twitter. They're on Facebook. They're everywhere. And you're wondering, can I even compete with that? Should I be doing that? Or is it just about, I've got them, those that are coming, I've got them on Sunday. And the reality is absolutely you can compete with that. If you have an audience, right, and you as a church are a content creator, you can connect with them. They want to engage with you. And that's what we're seeing on a daily basis with thousands of organizations that are seeing ridiculous engagement stats. Even as attendance may not be 4 times in a Sunday, or four Sundays in a month, their engagement level with their churches is likely higher than ever because of the ability to connect with them all the time. It's not just Sunday. It's not just a Wednesday night. It's not just through email. Yeah. You've got regular connection points. So absolutely, you can cut through the noise.
Yeah, and I think, too, that even addresses some of what I might even call a fear of, okay, if we rolled out this technology like our media online, or we introduce something like a live stream, is that going to affect the physical presence of are people then going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to come on Sunday, we're just going to stay at home? So does that affect engagement? And I think you were even addressing just some of that we've actually seen some of the reverse.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If we think about some of those fears, we adopt technology. Is this going to replace people wanting to come on a Sunday? Or, if we launch this product, are they just going to think that we just want to, it's all about giving. We're all about giving and donations. Well, be tactful. Absolutely. Yeah. Be thoughtful about that process. But good technology should make you more effective and more efficient. It should help you foster relationships and draw people in. And those are some of the key things that we see, even in terms of, we have a congregation here locally, Restoration. Our buddy Matt.
Oh, Pastor Matt.
100 people come to a weekly event,
gathering,
right? A weekly gathering, and we have 10,000 downloads of that app. That's insane. That's showing you the reach you have far beyond. It's not in any way interfering with the attendance you have. It's actually enhancing it way more than you ever could dream. 1,000 media plays a month Matt's getting inside of his app. People watching sermons. That's, again, far more. He's getting 10 times as many sermons watched and 100 times as many downloads as people coming on a weekend.
Yeah, and I think we're even seeing engagement in that way of people being able to share content with friends and being able to peek over the proverbial fence of checking out a ministry, what they're about, before even diving in, to where stories we hear back from pastors saying, hey, I'm starting to meet people on Sunday that are saying, I got your, somebody shared a sermon with me and I downloaded your app. And so I've been listening through this series on the Gospel of John and was so moved by the Holy Spirit that now I'm, coming back in. And we get stories like that all the time.
That's awesome.
That I think we're starting to see even just the power of an invite, but also being able to meet people where they're at.
That is such a good point. They are on their mobile devices. They are social, and they're already not coming as much as, we'd like them to. So let's do as much as we can to stay engaged with them, to draw them in, that they can then come in person, because we don't want to replace at any point the value of in-person interaction. That is core to us in our faith of focusing on how do we authentically engage? Are we part of community? Do we have people that we can go to? Are we serving? Are we being disciples together? Right? It comes in community. However, more and more people are engaging through digital technology first.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we start to think about, okay, where do we begin from here? It feels almost impossible to stay up to date with all the latest technology and even roll it out. So as a ministry, where do I begin?
Right. Yeah, you do not have to be a technology expert. You don't need developers, but there's a few basic things you should be doing. As we've mentioned, you're a content creator. You have an audience, so how are you authentically engaging with them? So first and foremost, there's really 4 things we say you really need to have. Absolutely. You need a website. That's your digital doorstep. That's where people discover you. That's where they find you. If they're Googling, they want to learn a little bit about the church, they're going to find you on your website. You have to have that. But what's in your website? So 3 things we recommend. 1, do you have content? Are you recording your sermons? You're putting time and effort into that on a weekly basis. So what are you doing with it? Are you recording it and making an easy presentation back to your audience? 2, do you have forms? Do you have an easy way for people to get connected? That might be, I want to volunteer, I want to learn more, I want to get plugged into a small group. And 3, do you have an easy way for people to make a donation? Digital online donations is absolutely the future. It's where more people are engaged. We're seeing tremendous growth on that side as well. But you have an easy way for people to make a donation. Those are the starting. That's where you start.
Yeah, that's great. So just in summary, places to start. Do I have a website? Do I have a media library? Online forms, way to get connected, and then online giving. So what's somebody that wants to take it to the next level,
right,
what would you say there?
Yeah, hopefully you have those things. So if you don't, that's step 1. Step 2 is, how are you authentically engaging your existing community and taking the next steps beyond just the basics? Those are the basics.
Yep.
So next is really, do you have a mobile strategy? What is your digital engagement strategy, and where does mobile play in? So that's where we see having a mobile app is just critical. That's the stat, the 100 times the downloads as people coming on a Sunday. My church has 10 times as many downloads of our app as people coming on a Sunday. We see that regularly. In fact, our average church has 5 times as many downloads as attendees.
Right.
So the engagement level is ridiculous, because if people are spending 3 hours a day on their phone and they're connected to you in your community, they do want to engage. And so that's why we see our average church has 10,000 impressions in an app
amazing.
in a month.
Yeah.
But they need to have a reason to go there.
Exactly.
So do you have your content again? Do you have your events? Do you have Bible reading plans? So put a little bit of effort in there and you will see the fruit from it. So that's how you go next level. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. And we're going to dig more into the mobile side of things in some future episodes here. But just to summarize specifically on those basic next steps, wrote down some questions that you can even ask yourself and with your team around the media library, website, forms, and online giving. So specifically for media, can your people find media and listen and watch wherever they go? So that's number 1. 2, with the website, does your website easily tell people who you are and how to take that next step? When it comes to forms, are you using forms to facilitate meaningful connections with them? And then finally, with giving, do you have a modern way that they can give with ease when they forget cash or check with them?
Right.
So if you've gone through those and you can say, yes, we've got all those, then we highly suggest taking it to that next level and considering and going mobile. And we're going to talk about more of that on some upcoming episodes. So with that, we've enjoyed this. We hope you have too. If you haven't subscribed already to this podcast, go and do that. If you've thought of a friend or a coworker in your ministry that you think would benefit from these conversations as well, we hope you invite them to listen in. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to Equip and Engage, where we're sharing insights learned from thousands of conversations with leaders and pastors around the world. To follow along with these conversations, subscribe today or visit our website.